Welcome to Walk the Line. I'm your host, OG Chris Murray. I know what time it is. The DML is kicking off week 1, and I'm here to provide y'all with those week 1 golden picks. But I'm not alone on this show right now. I got my co-host, Ralph Maddock, the owner of those Minnesota Vikings. What's going on, Ralph?
What up? What up? What's good, Dynasty?
All right, DML, stay tuned to what's about to break down on this show, okay? I thought I'd add a little bit of more twist on to Walk the Line. So what I'm going to do, all right, each week my co-host has a shot at winning $10. Now, a lot of people say, what's $10? $10 is a lot. It can get you a cup of coffee throughout the week to get your morning started. It could be lunch, it could be breakfast, it could be whatever you want it to be. But what they have to do in order to receive the $10 that I will be cash apping to their Cash App account or PayPal or Venmo, whatever they choose me to send the money at, they have to outpick the OG pick for pick on what teams are going to be the lock W's throughout the week. Ralph, man, you think you could go toe-to-toe with the OG with these picks, man?
Man, I'm going to give it a shot, man.
All right, let's dive right into these picks. First up, we got Richie, the New York Giants versus JB and the Seattle Seahawks. When you look at this New York Giants team, you got to mention the rushing attack. All right, with Saquon Barkley and McKinnon, who rushed for a total combined yards of 3,275 yards on the ground. I expect nothing to change in this matchup, going up against a defense who struggled against the rushing attack last season. However, the Seattle Seahawks just had Clowney on a right end position upgraded to Superstar X Factor. This should be a plus for them with, I believe they have Chester Braxton out there, who's already a Superstar X Factor on the D-line. So this should help them, be able to maintain or try to slow down this high-powered New York Giants rushing attack. However, the secondary cannot fall asleep back there because he do have a superstar with the New York Giants, Superstar X-Factor wide receiver who the offensive coordinator seems to know how to get him the ball. I'm not going to spend no time on this one with my pick. I think that I'm going to go with the Giants on this one, man. What's your thoughts on this matchup? Who are you picking?
Man, I think I'm going to go with the Giants, too. I know what you're saying about Clowney, but the Giants did draft 2 speedsters, one out of Ohio State, Richard Kent, and another running back, Donovan Snow out of Oklahoma. So I think he's going to find a way to get those guys involved, try and develop them, not only running the ball, but maybe throwing it to them in the flats out of the backfield. So I'm going to take the Giants in a close one.
All right, so we locked in with the Giants getting the W. Moving on, we got under 2 rated the Washington Redskins versus SJ and the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, under 2 rated is coming off of a disappointing season, falling short of his goals last year. I believe he finished 3-13. But you're going up against a high-powered Jacksonville Jaguar defense, and you got to get things going in the right direction fast. You're going to have to get the running game going in this matchup to slow down this high-powered defensive front four out there in Jacksonville. All right, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, who was traded to Jacksonville earlier in the preseason. He's already paired with Josh Allen, so you're going to have to figure out how to get the run game going to put your offense and your quarterback in the best position to make plays on third down, or just chip away at trying to get some points on the board the best way out. However, the Jacksonville Jaguars, SJ. On paper, all right, some people might not agree with me on this one, but I'm just going to say on paper, this is by far is the best defense. Once again, I'm going to say on paper, the best defense in the DML, okay? With Myles Jack, DeMarcus Lawrence, Josh Allen, Jalen Ramsey, Ronnie Harris, Awuzie, who are all superstar X Factors. But the question is, Ralph, I got for you is, can he figure out how to make it gel? Because some people, they get all those high power or high profile players on their team, and it just seems to not gel right. But with my pick, I'm going to stick with my pick on this. So I'm going to go with SJ and this high-powered Jacksonville Jaguar team getting the W going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this game and who you going with?
Man, I really like the pickup of DeMarcus Lawrence. It's going to add some depth. It's going to add some versatility. I know he drafted that rookie quarterback, Orchard, out of LSU, but I think he needs wide receivers. I think he needs a better tight end, some more offensive weapons.
Okay.
I like the way Under plays defense. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. If you stop SJ's inside zone, I'm going to give under the nod here. I'm going to go against the grain and take the Redskins.
Okay. Opposite directions. Let's move on to this next pick. We got the Bus and the Chicago Bears versus Skilled Trade and the Buffalo Bills. This right here is a no-brainer for me. Easy week for the Bus. He's going up against, he's on the road going to Buffalo against a struggling team who can't seem to play no more than 2 quarters of football. Lean on Cam Turman to secure the W. The Bills, man. Listen, I don't know what's going on with the coaching staff out there, but they can't seem to figure out how to coach this team past playing more than 2 quarters. Because it seems like those first 2 quarters, they be out there giving it all they got. Then after the first 2 quarters, they flat out go ghost. No-brainer pick for me. I'm going with the Bus, getting a W on the road going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this matchup? Who you going with?
Man, I got to go with the Bus, too. He's upgraded his team. He's added Marquis Dell in the trade with the Rams out of Texas, the running back, 94 speed. He's also added a receiver with tons of speed in Hardman, the superstar. So I think KP's going to, have a game on his hands for a quarter or 2, and then he's going to get to spend the second half trying out some new plays. The Bears, easy.
All right, so we locked in with the Bears. Moving on, we got Andy and the Raiders versus KP and the Chiefs. Now, for people that wasn't following the DML offseason this past one, the Raiders organization splashed big when that team was able to lock in superstar X Factor left end Donnell Lyons, okay, who already, he developed some guys out there on that defensive front four. So when he added this guy to the D-line in this matchup, I think he's going to benefit with having him on the defensive front four due to the fact that KP loves to drop back and throw that deep ball 90% of the game, and it takes some time to develop them routes. He should be able to reap the benefits of landing this guy in free agency. However, the Chiefs, I'm going to keep it 100 with you on this one, KP. You're entering this matchup with one goal. And my one goal for you is you got to protect Patrick Mahomes. This is the leader of your offense. He cannot sit back there and get sacked 74 times. Okay? You got to protect this guy better this season if you plan on being there at the end of the race for a banner in the DML. All right? My pick with this one, I just think the way KP plays, I like the way the Raiders team looks. But when it comes to stick skills, I got to go with KP on this one, getting a W. What's your thoughts on this matchup? Who you going with?
Well, like you said, I really like the addition of that X factor for the Raiders, but let's not forget that linebacker he got from the Vikings, Gabriel Roth, is now a superstar. Ooh. So he's got another weapon coming off the edge there. I think the Raiders has a more complete team, and the Chiefs lost Aaron Donald to retirement as well. So KP maybe needs to stop thinking of these streaks and deep routes and look for these speedy receivers shorter. But I like the Raiders team, so I'm picking the Raiders.
All right, going opposite ways, man. Opposite ways. Moving on, we got Niner Tom and the 49ers versus Vitamin and the Chargers. All right, on paper, I'm going to say the 49ers is coming to this matchup with the, I say, top 5 best wide receiver group in the DML with Pittis, DeAndre Hopkins, Marcus Dixon. However, can Josh Rosen figure out how to get these guys the ball without forcing it? Because this dude was a turnover bug last season. All right? But his O-line is going to have to step it up. Facing against Joey Bosa. And I forget that other guy that's out there, but he's a baller too for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Fans.
Yes, he is a baller. But, Vitamin, listen to me, man. Listen to me well. Run the rock. Austin Eckler picked up 7.7 yards per carry last season for you. Allow him to put your offense in good, short, managed field position. All right? But Russell Wilson, turn the volume up a little bit louder because the way you played last season, that's not the Russell Wilson that we're used to seeing. Okay? 31 INTs, young fella, that's not going to be able to cut it. You got to sling that rock, especially if you got a dominant rushing attack with Todd Gurley. Austin Eckler, you got to figure out how to take care of the ball and keep your team in the best position at securing victories in the DML. My pick with this one, even though I like the way that Austin Eckler runs the ball, I got to go with my gut in this one. And my gut is telling me to stick with Niner Tom and the 49ers with that high-powered, balanced offense attack, getting the W going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this matchup? Who are you taking?
Man, I think it's going to be a fun matchup. A lot of stars on both sides of the ball. The scoreboard should be lighting up. But the one difference to me is the 49ers and his special teams. Do not kick the ball to this guy. This dude has the best special teams in the game. So I am simply going with the Niners for that reason.
All right, bet we locked in with the 49ers. Moving on, we got my man C-Rob and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Marlo and the Carolina Panthers. Now, this right here, okay, with the Panthers, Marlo brought in Jamal Adams, which is a solid move on the defensive side of the ball. However, dude, you enter this matchup with the 29th ranked offense in the DML, and I'm going to tell you why. You have no quarterback. You have no wide receivers to throw the ball to. All you have is White Lightning, Christian McCaffrey. Your defense, however, the famous quote is defense with championships, and I'm trying to figure out how the young fella's going to do it. So I'm going to be tuned in to see what Marlo's going to be doing this season without no offensive weapons besides Christian McCaffrey. C-Rob, listen, you're facing a quarterback who's a 69 overall. Stack the box, don't allow Christian McCaffrey to get his stuff off, and force Marlo to put the game inside of this 69 overall quarterback hands. No brainer with me. I'm taking C-Rob against the 69 overall quarterback, smashing, sacking, causing turnovers, getting a W going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this game right here?
Adams is a splashy trade. I like it, but the running backs, the quarterbacks, I think it's just an aging group. He traded a receiver, drafted one who's not as good. I don't like the offensive side of this. I think C-Rob's just got to use his two-headed monster at running back to go on and get this dub. I'm going with the Bucks.
All right, we locked in with the Bucks. Moving on, we got Bruce and the Browns versus HBO and the Baltimore Ravens. Bruce brought in Hollywood Brown this past offseason to already pair up with wide receiver Shard and Paris Campbell. All right, he has a balanced offense. However, what he has to figure out, okay, is how to not fall victim to the trap. Because we all know when you playing against HBO, you're so pumped up to try to put 50 on his head. The way that this guy talks in the chat about him being the GOAT, him the Super Bowl running through Baltimore, blah, 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 blah. Can Bruce come out with the mentality of being focused and not falling victim to the trap? However, the Baltimore Ravens, man, I'm going to preach it season after season after season with you, man. You need to stop panicking, all right? Stop trying to depend on those same basic 4 plays. It's not going to work, young fella in the DML. It's not going to work. You have to open up your playbook, okay? Sometimes things are not going to work out with the first shot or the second shot. But if you stay dedicated into learning and opening your playbook and opening up your play calling, it might tend to lean in your favor sometimes, all right? You have one of the most dangerous players in the DML with Lamar Jackson. You got to figure out how to utilize this guy and come out with a balanced attack and make dudes respect your game. However, I don't think Bruce is going to respect his game in this matchup. So with my pick, I'm taking Bruce and the Browns getting an easy W going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this matchup and who you going with?
Man, I don't know. Last year, Bruce had his quarterback and running back suspended for the first matchup and caught that L against H-Bo. Now, everybody says I hate against H-Bo. Well, guess what? It's the perfect storm. Bruce's quarterback, Tyree, is hurt with a ruptured disc. He's out for 7 weeks, so he's forced to go to his backup. H-Bo traded for Cortez Hepburn. I think if he gets some sort of running game going with him and Breida, if he plays his game, he's got a chance. So I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to take H-Bo. Don't say I never did nothing for you, H-Bo.
Got the first upset of week 1 in the DML. I know H-Bo going to be fired up when you hear that. Moving on, we got Taz and the Cincinnati Bengals versus my Pittsburgh Steelers. This matchup right here is going to come down to one thing on my side of the ball as far as can I take care of the ball. Last season, man, I turned the ball over way too much, okay? But that's what happens, man, when your superstar running back goes down for 7 weeks. Try to figure out a way how to put wins together, and I just think that I didn't have that balanced attack. I was trying to implicate still running the ball heavy, and then it wasn't working out. Then put my quarterback in tough positions to get, complete a pass on 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 17. So I think in this matchup, I have to come out with the mindset of just playing more balance on the offense side of the ball. However, on the defense, my guys are fired up. Bush, Khalil Mack, Terrell Edmonds, they are fired up. These guys are very upset at falling short and not making the playoffs, okay? So these guys have been lighting guys up throughout the whole preseason. I had to calm them down a little bit. Tell them, listen, calm down. I don't want y'all to get hurt. Y'all out here smacking people like it's the Super Bowl. Relax, calm down. I don't know if it's the gunpowder I'm putting in their Gatorade, but I had to calm them down. However, I like what Taz is doing. Even though he's my division mate, I like how he's trusting the process, man, and is building his team up. This guy, man, you can't sleep on him at all. He plays a very balanced game. He knows when to pass the ball, and he knows how to take what the defense gives him. So this matchup meant to come, like I said, very focused on both sides of the ball. Come out, playing very balanced. I never pick against myself, so my pick, I'm taking my Pittsburgh Steelers getting a W going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this matchup and who you going with?
Well, I agree with you. I like what he's done with the team, slow and steady. He's been building it. His quarterback, Millard, is now a superstar, and he also drafted that linebacker that he converted to a defensive end, Saban, out of Stanford from last year. Real tough. Division games are always close. I think it's going to be a 1 or 2 possession game. But looking at the trenches right now, I got to give the upside to the Bengals, so I'm going to go with them in the upset pick.
All right, we got the Bengals locked in. Moving on, we got Bino and the Detroit Lions versus Westside Pablo and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Lions, man, took a crazy hit, losing Darnell Lyon to a rule violation. However, veteran guys like Trey Flowers, Trey Hendricks is going to have to step it up because the Philadelphia Eagles have a solid rushing attack. However, listen, Westside, the defense is going to have to focus in on one player and one player only. All right, and that guy is Curtis Samuels. Do not let this one guy wreck your shit, because he will if you allow him to. The defensive coordinator, they had that secondary in the film room studying every single thing that this guy loves to do on the field and take it away from him. However, with my pick, I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions, even though they lost their superstar X-Factor defensive end. I think that these guys are going to build off of that motivation and put it together and secure a week 1 W going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this matchup and who you going with?
Man, I know the Lions is hurting, losing that defensive end. And looking at his defense, I see an aging defense. I see he drafted 2 defensive ends to try and replace that guy, but they're not really that good. Like you said, you got to stop that receiver Samuel. That's his number 1 weapon. I think the Eagles has better weapons, and I think he has the running attack to make that defensive line pay. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
All right, so we locked in. Eagles. Moving on, we got...
Oh, my God. He's shit everywhere. My house is full of shit! He's shit everywhere!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know what it was when y'all seen it on the play card. We have the shit bowl game. Shit water meets shit brother. We got Solomon Kane, the Tennessee Titans versus the Big Homie and the Indianapolis Colts. 2 organizations, man, who just cannot seem to put W's in the win column. Okay, the Big Homie knows how to put a solid team together. Okay, knows how to develop guys, but it just can't produce on the playing field. Solomon Kane, I don't know if this guy's on vacation. I don't know if he's just in La La Land or whatever, but this guy has not been the same since last cycle. I don't know if this is not the cycle for him, but his organization has been shit water from start to up to this point. I'm going to flip a coin on this one. Heads being the Titans, tails being the Colts. Tails it is, so I'm going to take the Colts in the shit bowl game, getting a W going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this matchup right here?
Man, I feel the same thing. 2 aging squads. I don't get it. They've been in the top of the draft picks for a while now, but I'm going to roll with the Colts just because, like you, I don't know where the Titans has been. I really haven't heard from them, seen them, so I got to go with the Colts.
All right, moving on. We got your Minnesota Vikings versus Nasty Loop and Atlanta Falcons. This game right here is going to come down to what team wanted more. Okay, what team can take care of the ball and what team can get their rushing attack going to open up the playing field. All right, I like the way the Minnesota Vikings team is built, but sometimes they seem to let games slip through their hands. So if the Minnesota Vikings can figure out in those crunch time seconds of the game, keep it together, I think they could get away with the W. However, I don't think. I'm gonna go with my gut on this one, man. I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings getting a W on the road, week 1, going to week 2. What's your thoughts on this matchup?
Man, my biggest problem is throwing interceptions, man. If I can just limit the interceptions, control the ball, I like what I could do. I made a trade, got Dukes, although he's hurt, from Miami. Also got Mellon, a receiver from Tight. Really like those two pieces, like what I'm doing. I know the Falcons got a solid roster. He's got those 2 running backs. But I'm going to try and just control the interceptions. So I'm going to take myself, Falcons on the road. Or Vikings on the road, sorry.
All right, let's get it. Moving on, we got Expert in the Dallas Cowboys versus Marizzi and the New Orleans Saints. Now, even though the Saints is coming off of a high horse, balled out last season, making his second playoff appearance, this is not the matchup that you want week 1. Expert, Dallas Cowboys, no waste on this pick right here. Expert, Dallas Cowboys putting up a large numbers. Probably, I'm going to say 30-plus points on the road, getting a W going into week 2. What's your thoughts on this game and who you picking?
I think Expert's going to win, too. I don't know what Marizzi's going to show up, but I know what I'm going to get from Expert. I know exactly what he's going to do. Cowboys on this one.
All right, now y'all got the week golden picks. Let's dive into the DML game of the week. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time it was a head scratcher. It was a head scratcher. And I had to put both of these matchups on the DML game of the week. We got the first game. We got tight work in the Miami Dolphins versus Addy and those Houston Texans. Defense meets defense in this matchup. Even though both of these guys can put up large numbers on the offensive side of the ball, defense meets defense. When you talking about a guy like Wheaton who broke the DML sack record last year, then you got Christian Wilkins on the Miami Dolphins side of the ball. You got what's my other guy name? You got oh my god, what is his name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. But whatever, man. Defense meets defense in this matchup. Sacks meet sacks. The rushing attack meets the rushing attack. Passing game meets passing game. Now, I think this game is going to come down to these guys. They know each other game very well because they played each other numerous times so far. But I think in this game right here, it's going to come down to what guy can take away the other guy's top threat. On the Texas side, the Miami Dolphins going to have to figure out how to make Deshaun Watson a non-factor in this game. On the Texans side, they're going to have to figure out. And I know. I say this all the time when guys are playing against tight. They're going to have to figure out how to stop tight work's rushing attack. Because if you can make tight one-dimensional, it doesn't mean you're going to beat them, but it makes things tip a lot more in your favor. All right. With this pick, I'm going to take Addy and the Texans getting the W going to week 1. What's your thoughts on week 1 game of the week?
Man, I agree with what you said. It's going to be a close game. But looking at the weapons, I know both of these guys, very good users, very good teams. But Ty got a new weapon, man. He got X Factor Irv Smith, the tight end. And if you're looking at the tight end position, that's where he has the advantage over the Texans, who don't really have a great tight end. So I think if Ty can tune up his defense, get the ball involved to either his tight end, his receivers, his running back, running that option, I'm going with the Dolphins.
Ooh, okay, it's going to be a good one. Now, this next matchup is going to be good. This next one, we got Sweets and the Cardinals versus Embro and the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to put it right out there just like this, man. Right now, even though Embro has won six Super Bowls this cycle, Sweets by far is the closest person right now to knocking this team off. Sweets, if you just can figure out how to keep it together in those last crucial minutes of the game, you can knock this Packers team off. However, one thing I like about this Green Bay Packers team, and I noticed it through his course last year through the playoffs, is this guy does not get rattled. Okay, I have seen and have witnessed in the DML guys go down by a possession and just panic. This dude, no matter, he reminds me of the Golden State Warriors when they had Kevin Durant and they had and they just had that amazing season. Whereas though they just didn't get rattled. So he's the true definition of a DML champion, because I think that is the formula that you need to implicate in your game in order to be considered with that elite group. So I like the way he balls out. I like the way he plays it. I like the fact, like I said, I mentioned that he does not be rattled. However, I'm gonna set the fire, and the Green Bay Packers organization not gonna like this. I'm taking with my pick, Sweets getting the W. Bouncing back from the NFC Championship loss that he took last season, getting the W, building his team momentum and his team pride and ego and everything else in a pot at a high level, getting the W going into week 1. What's your thoughts on this matchup and who you going with?
Man, these two guys aren't in the same division, but it should be a divisional matchup. As many times as they have played, they even played in the preseason, I think. X factors all around, high marquee players all around. But the X factor to me is that the fact that Sweets 99 has a new playbook that he's working with. Is he going to have it figured out in time for this week 1 matchup? I don't know. So for that reason only, Embro, he's just going to keep that train rolling, knows his playbook, knows his players. I'm taking the Packers.
Okay, so y'all got all of the golden picks. I got the DML game of the week. Like I said in the first beginning of the show, we're going to go pick for pick. If Rolf O'Matic can figure out how to beat the OG with the picks, I'm going to cash app him $10. But y'all can drop your comment on who y'all think is the lock picks, the upset picks, the shitbowl game, the DML game of the week, so that way we could tune in and take your advice for next week picks. I'm your host, OG Chris Murray. Appreciate you jumping on the show. We out.